Alright, looks like it's worked first time. Let's double check. Yep, perfect. Hello guys, let me just tell everyone that I'm here, so I'm not just talking to myself. There we go, okay. Hello everyone. Let me just plug my charger in. So we're in round 6 now of season 18. These seasons are going insanely quickly. So where we left off was our championship leader Chrissy with a 21-point lead over Hasnain in P2. But crucially here, Chrissy is not available for this round. He's missing it. So this is going to open the door potentially for Hasnain. If he can score 22 or more points today, he will take the lead of the championship. Gilles is in third. He could really close the gap because he's 46 points behind. So if you can get 2 good results here, could drag himself into championship contention still. Henna's in P4, my pick for at least finishing in the top 3 this season. They've got Tap, Arukas, X90G, Sam, Higgsy, and Mighty Mini Smiley rounding out the top 10 in this tier. Toyota GR Supra have a 1-point lead over the Lamborghinis heading into today. But it's really tight. We've got the Porsches and we've got the Peugeots and we've got the AMGs all within about 40 points, 41 points separating the top 5 constructors, which is really close as well. So yeah, let's go through the grid then. We've got Sam, who's missed, I think, the last 3 rounds. He was leading this championship. Missed the last 3 rounds, didn't get a lap in qualifying, so potentially went and got himself a penalty at the end of his final qualifying lap and potentially did the same on the first one to not even get a single valid lap in. That must have been what happened. Then we have Punzani, who was winning, and he won and finished P2 in his debut last week. He didn't set a decent lap as well. He's lining up in 12th position this time. So maybe we'll see a little bit more of what he can do in terms of his racecraft in this one, because it was a bit easy, that sprint race last time around. Zab is lining up in P11 in the GTR, right outside the crucial top 10 for reverse grid. They've got Tap in the Lambo in 10th place. So that's reverse grid pole as it stands. Hurricane P9 in qualifying in the Lexus, which is pretty strong round here. Brummy in the McLaren lining up 8th next to Filthy, who's in the top 10 once again in qualifying. So another good result there, but he's in the Porsche, so he's going to probably drop out of the top 10 before turn 1. Jack in the other Nissan is up in 6th, right behind Jill, who just out-qualified him to get P5 on the grid in the Lambo. Then in the top 4, we got Arukas coming back after missing around, dropping a little bit out of contention for the championship when he was right up there in the Peugeot, next to Henna's with another strong qualifying up in 3rd. I think that might be his best of the season, actually. Excuse me. Hasnain fails to get pole position, so there's one bonus point that he'll miss out on. He gets P2, the highest ranked driver in the standings who is racing today. And in pole position, we got Harry. I'm pretty sure this is Harry's first pole of the season. So yeah, 2 AMGs in the top 3, and they both start pretty quickly as well. So potentially it's going to be 1-2 by the time we get to turn 1 here. So let's start. We got 4 laps of this sprint race. 13 drivers. They are all revving. Looks like a really long wait and everyone gets going. Looks like a really good start there for Henna's, who's just got past Hasnain, who started very slowly, and Henna's and Harry going side by side, the 2 AMGs down into the first braking point. Henna's wins out, and Harry's going to get overtaken here by Arukas as he brakes incredibly early. Also gets overtaken by Jack there. A little bit of contact between a few of them, so let's go back and see how that start looked. Let's go on board with Hasnain from the start. Started P2, immediately dropping back between Henna's and Arukas. Jack's going to squeeze through as well here. And then he's caught on the outside heading into this corner. Manages to slot in just fine there in P5. Let's go a little bit further down and see. Well, Zab's dropped to the back and Tab's dropped low as well. So let's go to the start on Zab and see what's happened to him. Starting at P11. We should get a good view of anything happening in front as well. Good start there from Zab, and obviously a great start there for Sam. Actually puts Zab off a little bit, which caused him to drop back. There's Panzani getting past 3 cars up to the top 10 already. And Filthy dropping back there in his Porsche as well. Zab just taking it pretty easy. It looks like we've got 3 wide right in front of us. Filthy and Sam getting pushed a little bit. But yeah, nothing happens really. Oh, Sam gets himself a half-second penalty for his troubles, but everyone actually makes it round the corners all right, to be honest. So heading down to the back straight now. Looks like Arukas also got himself a half-second penalty. So this is a great start here for Jack. He's going to inherit P2 as long as he can stay behind Arukas down these long straights. See Harry's starting to close in on Jack there, just having a look at the well, Panzani's up in 7th now, probably benefiting from the opening chicane as well. Looks like he's going to potentially have a run on Giles. This is Jag versus Lamborghini, and a little bit further up we got Jack defending from Harry and goes a little bit deep into the chicane. They all managed to make it through, and they all get through as well. Panzani couldn't get past Giles either, so let's stick with these guys because they are very close together as we head down the second portion of the back straight on lap 1. Jack's already going defensive. Hasnade's going to have some slip to benefit from, and is he going to go for a bit of a bump draft here on Harry? He is indeed, as we've got Arukas and Henna's challenging a little bit further up as well. Henna's having to defend, and he successfully does. Harry is ahead of Hasnane, who's ahead of Jack, so Jack's fallen back. Panzani's trying to get past Giles there, and Giles gets a better exit. Bit of a snap there for the Italian, and then Sam with his half-second penalty just behind Brummy. Is he going for the bump? He is. He's trying to get a bit more, well, a bit further up the road really before he serves that half-second. Anyone going for a move here? It's going to be a really tight hairpin here, and everyone seems to be making it through pretty clean, which is nice to see. No contact there. Hurricane's all the way at the back, so let's have a look, because he's pretty far back there, isn't he? So he's in 11th here. Oh, what's happened here? Sam and Brummy have a bit of contact, and then, yeah, Hurricane's just span around because of the concertina effect between all of the cars. So that's unfortunate for him. So we got down to this corner here, the hairpin, and everyone else is on yet another back straight. Now the exit of that corner was pretty crucial there. But no one's going for a move by the looks of things. Everyone's still pretty close together as well, so when we hit the penalty line, I think the impact's going to be a fairly big one. A very tricky braking zone here, if everyone's going to make it. It looks like they are. Tap and Zab going very carefully around there and making it through just fine. So now, we are going to the penalty zone, so let's see how this impacts Arukas. Looks like Harry's going to get him. If he can get straight into... Oh! Sam tried the old hack. Let's see. It didn't look like it worked very well. Oh, yeah, it wasn't worth it. Definitely lost more time doing that than just serving the penalty normally. And Filthy's going to take the position anyway. So Sam down to 10th, which is reverse grip pole. Everyone else, yeah, pretty close together. The top guys, AMG 1-2 at the moment, which would be a fantastic result for these guys. They did get a double podium last week as well. So yeah, the AMG drivers really on form. Maybe they've just figured out what to do with the car a little bit. But yeah, this is going incredibly well. Arukas having to settle into 3rd after serving his half-second penalty. Hasnane's still in 4th, Jack's still in 5th, and Giles is in 6th, looking a bit more comfortable from Punzani behind him. Filthy in 8th now, Sam is in 9th, and Taps in 10th. We've had a big problem for Brummy somewhere. Oh, he's in the gravel. Yeah, that is just braking a little bit too late, and then doing a full 180, and then, yeah, that's rough. So, as we end the lap, we've got Henna's still just in the lead from Harry. I wonder if Harry's going to have a go here. How much teamwork's going on between the two Brits? I think Harry's just happy to stay behind at the moment. There is a big team game that they could play here, and if Harry could stay close enough and not lose a position to Arukis there with the loss of traction on the exit, getting on the power a little bit too early, Arukis has potentially got this position sorted up. Harry's going to chuck it down the inside to try and keep it, and he does keep it. That was a good late move there for Harry to keep the spot, but he's going to stay under pressure because he's probably not going to benefit much from the slipstream. Arukis taking that corner really carefully, keeps right up the back of Harry. Now what's Arukis going to do? Is he going for the bump? Are we getting some bumps going on? We are indeed. So he wants to catch the guy in P1. He thinks that he can win this race. Got Hasnain lurking a little bit in the background here. And is Arukis going to do the old help out for now and then betray in the braking zone? Or is he going to just keep going for the second straight? He's thinking about it. And Harry's wise to it. Not much Arukis could do there. Now he has to get a better exit than Harry. And it looks like there's going to be some more opportunities for bumping here. Hasnain dropped back a little bit in the braking zone there, so maybe he got a poor chicane. There we go, there's the bump. Quite a strong one as well, so there's probably not going to be another one before the braking zone. But now the top three are super close now on track. And yeah, Arukis has a look, there's nothing he can do there. Now he just needs to try and get on the throttle early, avoid crossing the white line. All three of them avoid that pretty nicely. And Arukis still right behind Harry. There's another bump, but Harry's just going to bump Henna's here. The AMGs might need to work together to keep this guy behind. And that bump that Harry's done has affected his momentum quite heavily there. Arukis looks like he's got one, and he's going to try and get the second one in the same move, and they are side by side. Now what can Harry do? Harry had a poor exit, so he's not going to really be able to help Henna's out here with a bit of a bump draft to make sure Henna stays ahead. So it's a straight on drag race between the Peugeot and the AMG as we head into 6th gear. And it looks like the AMG started to pull away from the Peugeot a little bit now. Henna's is fully ahead heading as we round this corner and head into the braking zone. Henna's taken a very tight line into the corner. Maybe didn't want to risk any dive bombs, but Ruka's still very close behind here. And again, it looks like a good exit there, a little switchback from Arukas. He's fully ahead of Henna's now, but crucially, Harry's right behind. Harry's got a 1.5 second penalty though, so he's going to drop right back on the next lap in another 4 odd minutes. So Aruka's going defensive into the corner. Not much Harry could do to help. He's because Henna's had the slip of Arukas for a little bit there. Aruka's still defending, even though he looks pretty much fully ahead. Harry getting very close as they were all compromised on their entry to that corner. And they're all just gingerly taking it. Hasnain just biding his time, getting a bit closer now to Harry. Maybe he'll get an overtake done sooner rather than later, but he gives Harry a little bump down because Jack's hounding him as well. Jack fancies getting that position. Looks like Hasnain's backed out of it early. He didn't want to risk going side by side into the corner, so he sacrificed it. Now Harry's completely out of shape in the final corner. Actually gets a little bit in the way of Hasnain. And that is Jack up 2 positions in the space of a few corners there. We've also seen Giles fall down to 10th, so let's see how that happened. Oh, it was on the last lap. That's how long ago it was. And he is going to reset. Yes, he is. Right, back to where we were. So yeah, Gilles and Tap in P9 and 10, but that is reverse grid top 2, really. And you get quite a nice head start if you're starting on the actual main straight as opposed to in the final corner. So advantage Arukas, who did serve that half-second penalty on the opening lap, has managed to get past Hennes. Jack is in 3rd and Harry is in 4th with a 2.5 penalty. So he should, if they stay this close, drop behind Aslam and Pizzani as we promoted to 6th after Gilles reset to track there. Brought Sam up position, Filthy up position, Tap up position as well. Gilles did drop down to 11th, but he did manage to get past Zab on that lap. So these guys on the back straight once again. Sign is spread out now though. Jack is the one who's got a bit of trouble. He's got a half-second penalty and he's got Harry with 2.5 now coming his way, trying to get a move done. Harry needs the position. He's not messing around here. He's got huge overspeed. Now let's see what the GR Supra could do. Closing in on Jack. Not much now. This is going to be a P3 though for Hasnain by the end of this lap potentially. Pizzani's going for it though on him. Oh, but Hasnain's got the lovely slipstream of Jack there, and he pulls along, and now Hasnain's going to go for the move on Jack instead. And he does have the overspeed, he's potentially going to be fully ahead here. Pizzani maybe follow him through. Not really. Jack cuts in and blocks off any attempt for Pizzani to get that position for now. So that's good news for Hasnain. Up an extra position. Jack falling backwards a little bit ever since he got this. Ever since he got up to P3, he started struggling. And here we go. Ponzani's going for the move, and Pizzani's got the inside line for the hairpin. Jack's braking nice and late there. Just not enough room there for Jack, and he gets muscled out down to P6, but there's a pretty big gap down to 7th, so even with that half-second penalty, it shouldn't really be penalising him. Hennes sticking with the Rukis in this battle for P1. The gap is definitely less than a second here, and he's reeling him in as well. We saw on this straight a lap earlier that the AMG did have a stronger 6th gear than the Peugeot. And Hennes lifting pretty early to avoid any kind of dramas. It's going to allow Harry to come in a little bit, but he's got that 2.5 seconds. So let's see if this puts him potentially behind Sam actually. Is he going on the grass? He isn't. So Jack's going to still get past him. Here comes Sam. You can see he's already going to be lining up Harry here, and the overspeed looks a little bit too big. Harry is yeah, he's not got any sort of chance there. He's still plenty ahead of Filthy, but that was top 2 for the AMGs not too long ago. Now it is 2nd and 7th for the pair of them. So yeah, their double podium that they got last week doesn't look too likely to be repeated now. But Harry just has to regain his composure. There's lots, usually, oh, Jack's got another half second. There's usually lots of changes for positions on the final lap as well. So there's a half second. Does everyone else get it through all right? Yep. Battle between Arukas and Hennes is pretty close again. Final chicane exit is really important. Looks like Arukas got a slightly better exit than Hennes. Might cover him off into turn 1 again. We're starting the final lap now. Arukas has the advantage. Hennes not too far behind. Hasnain and Pizzani also pretty close. Jack's trying to get an overtake done on Sam here. Harry's in there as well. Looks like Jack's going to get muscled out of both positions. So yeah, Jack continues to tumble down. Not sure what's happening to his pace there. Harry's going to line up a move for Sam here, surely. Harry could still end up in the top 5 actually. The Citroen is good on acceleration, terrible on top speed. This should not be a problem for Harry to be fully ahead by the braking zone. And yeah, just as we expected. What about Panzani? He's looking for a move on Hasnain, but backs out of it. On top four, all separated by about a second here. Looks like a great exit from Hennes, actually. Arukas under a lot of pressure and with a half-second penalty. Potentially a race-losing half-second penalty, but Hennes might get the job done even beforehand. But Hennes isn't in a rush to get it done. He doesn't mind going for the bump draft here. You can see Panzani lining up a little move as well. Hennes losing a bit of speed at the end of the straight, but I think that was just gearing himself up towards the corner. So yeah, Arukas with that half-second could fall from first to fourth here. Right, looks like there's going to be a move into the hairpin. Hasnain trying to get a double overtake done potentially. He's lined up Hennes. Is he going to go for Arukas as well? Arukas, he can't. Hennes is going to have to try and stick it around the outside of the corner, but brakes really, really heavily there to make the corner, and Hasnain gets through. Arukas gets away from all of them. Panzani trying to follow through as well. Looks like he might actually jump ahead of Hasnain with the acceleration that he had out of that corner. Now what's Hennes going to do? Who's he going to bump draft? He's got a choice here. He goes for Hasnain. Trying to get back ahead of Panzani. This might potentially save Arukas when he serves this penalty. These guys are a lot further back than they were previously, and they're a big compromise going around this corner as well. Arukas will get away a little bit more. Hasnain still just has the advantage on Hennes here. And it looks like a great exit there for Hasnain compared to the others. So Hasnain's going to get past Arukas surely. The half second has been served. Didn't really lose that much time. Down to P2. Now what can Hennes do? He's got Panzani round the outside with a huge overspeed here. Hennes going to try and stick it. He backs out of it. Panzani kind of gets scared a little bit off track there. Loses P3 again to Hennes. And now Panzani's got the half second for going a little bit too deep, I think. So that's going to turn into 1 second at the end of the race. We've only got a couple of corners left. Hasnain has just about a car's width between him and Arukas right now. Arukas losing a little bit on that really tricky left-hander that we just went through. Last couple of chicanes and then we're at the end of the race. Hasnain looks like he's timed it perfectly to get to the front of the field. He's going to take another victory this season and really close in on Chris at the top of the standings, and a strong feature race from him will definitely give him the championship lead. He's got the fastest lap point as well. Arukas P2, Hennes P3, Panzani P4 in the end, and then Harry was 5th, Sam 6th, Jack kept hold of 7th with his penalty that he had, Filthy 8th, Tap 9th, and Gilles 10th, so not much change further down towards the back. And then we got Brummy doing some donuts, I think, at the end of the race. He's going to line up 13th. So let's go and find this feature race, because I'm promised rain. So it doesn't really matter where you're going to be starting in this feature race. There's this feature. There we go. Oops. There. So the gap, I think, at the top was 21. I'd take 16 off that for the points that Hasnain got. So essentially, a top 10 would probably be enough to give Hasnain the championship lead. When there's only 13 drivers. And if it's going to be raining, someone is probably going to rage quit at some point. So let's just have a quick check, because these guys don't think it's going to be raining, clearly, because look, absolutely nothing on that you can see in the sky. Just a few clouds. They don't look very menacing. No water on the water gauge either. We got hards for Gilles and for Tap, so they're doing the hard mediums for sure. Filthy starting on the medium, so could potentially take the lead of the race. There's quite a big pace difference. Jack on the hards, Sam on the mediums, Harry medium, Panzani, Hennes, Arukas, and Hasnain on mediums, hards for Zab, softs for Hurricane. Okay, that is interesting. That could end up working out really well if the raid's about to come, though. And mediums for Brummy. So, Filthy is the highest driver on someone who could potentially try the medium soft strategy. Let's get going. We've got 10 laps this time around. We have just started. Everyone is, some of them have started in the final corner. Looks like Jack and Sam having a little battle for position already. Sam trying to get round the outside. Jack is on the hards and Sam gets up into P4 now. Great start for him. Harry goes a little bit deep there. I think he should avoid a penalty though. Got Panzani, then a little gap back to Arukas and Hennes, who'll have some time to make back here. Yeah, all pretty normal all the way down. So we got a Lambo 1-2. The second in the standings coming in today. Oh, Tap has Filthy all over the back of him. It looks like he just got a much better line through the corner. Gets fully ahead of Tap. But now what's Tap going to do? Because he doesn't want to bump draft Filthy up into Gilles. That wouldn't be too good for the strategy. Filthy might be able to do it all on his own anyway. I think Tap's going to try and go for a move here and slow Filthy down a bit for his teammate. Good late braking there for Tap. He does get the position back. And we've got Sam with a 2.5 penalty. Oh, and it's all kicking off back here. Everyone's very close together. Arukas looks like he's getting past Harry now up into P7. Looks like he got a great exit. And now there's a little drag race going on between Jack and Panzani. Harry might be trying to get that position back as well. So we're 2 by 2 here. And we've got Hennes just lurking a little bit further behind. Oh, Harry's going to make it 3 wide. Jack braking really late. Is he going to be able to make the corner? He doesn't. And I don't know how many seconds of penalties that's going to be for Jack, but at least he didn't get reset to track. He might have got away with it actually because he was going pretty slow. But down to 10th for Jack. Hasnain up a single position. Then we have Arukas and Panzani side by side with Hennes. Again, so the same drivers all very close together, jostling for positions. And Hennes going for Panzani this time with the bump draft. Looks like Panzani's fully ahead. A little bit further up, there's some more battling going on, so we'll join that because we need to see how Sam's got himself up into second. So we saw him get past Jack with a fairly good move right at the start of the race. Filthy and couldn't really do anything with the 2 Lambos on the second part of the straight. Sam's already got past, and he's got such a good run. He's going to have to do it the hard way, though. We got 1 Citroen versus 2 Lambos. Sam with the 2.5 wants to get to the head of the field before he serves his penalty, I think. Now everyone's really careful. You love to see it into the hairpin. A little bit of contact a bit further back. And there's Sam up in P2. Is he going to go for P1 on Gilles, or is he going for the bump draft? I think the bump draft might have been a smarter choice here, but he's instead going to try, excuse me, and get the position. That Lambo's got absolutely no speed at all. Maybe they need to tinker with the high speed bop of the Lambo a little bit. I know the hard tyres have a little bit to do with it. And Tap's now lost position of Filthy there. Looks like a few positions are changing a bit further back as well. So let's ride on while we're Hasnain. The man trying to get the championship lead. It looks like something's going to happen at this corner. Panzani makes a little bit of contact there with Arukas. They're both going pretty slow through. He slows down Hennes and Jack, and now Hasnain is caught on the outside here. 3 wide into a corner where it's basically single file. They all make it through pretty nicely. Hurricane on his soft tyres, trying to take advantage now. Which is nice, we didn't see much of Hurricane in the sprint race. And he actually gets ahead of the race winner. Can he get Jack as well? Excuse me. Everyone's going really wide round here. We have some... Oh dear, something happened to Harry there. So Harry was battling with Sam. Filthy and Tap have a bit of contact. Harry's trying to go around the outside of Tap, gets a bit shoved into the wall. Loses the spot to Sam as well, so he was up slightly, and now he's back down to 5th is Harry. Tap struggling round this section where the tyres will be punishing him a little bit. Now Sam and Harry have great lines out the corner, but Harry ends up giving Tap a little bump and rescuing him. Arukas gets past as a result of all that drama, and Arukas trying to get Sam as well here, and he's going to hit Tap. They all make it through. This is carnage. Now there's contact between Harry and Sam. Tap gets a half-second penalty. Panzani's trying to take advantage now, and we've got Hennes as well. This is insane. What is going on? And now we've got Hurricane and Jack going side by side as well. Let's ride on board with Hurricane, because we've got a nice view of the carnage up ahead as well as this little battle. Are we all going to make it? Yes, amazingly. A little bit of oh, the Hurricane nearly knocks Panzani off track, so Jack's going to get past him now. God, Brummy's trying to take advantage now. Hasnane's down in 12. Right, recovery has to be on here for Hasnane because he's lost a couple of positions here. Zab's at the back as well, so he can't have had a good start. Filthy and Giles, miles out front now. Well, not miles, but when you think Tap's got a half-second, and they're all playing the bump drafting game. Looks like Filthy's got a huge run now on Giles, and he's going to take the lead of the race here. Medium tired runner in the lead for the first time. Giles loses the lead for the first time 5 minutes into the race, but still not a bad start for the guys on the hard tyres. They're still second and third. Arukas not able to get past Tap just yet. He really wants to close the gap here. Yeah, that Lambo's just really slow. And the Peugeot's not the fastest either, so there's not too much catching up that these guys can do. Let's see what's happening. Oh, there was a bit of a move. Arukas actually went for it on Tap there in the braking zone. Wasn't expecting that. And he gets up into P3 and could try and hunt down the top two. Remember, Arukas on the mediums though and Tap's on the hards. What's going on a little bit further back? Jack and Hurricane still having a fight. Hurricane up to 9th now. I think he kept that position. Panzani's got a run on Jack as well. So yeah, Jack, he is on the hards, but he's struggling quite a lot on the hards. Hurricane decided to give Panzani a bit of slipstream, or maybe just cover off the inside line for this corner. Jack going a little bit too deep and Hurricane going a little bit too cautious. Panzani gets the position, and Hasnane is up another spot as well. Zab actually gets past Jack as well. Looks like Arukas got a better exit from here as well on his mediums. Let's see. Looks like a great exit there from Arukas. Wasn't particularly bad for Giles. Arukas should be able to just slide on through. If I was Filthy, I'd probably be giving slip to Giles because he's on the hards. Because now Arukas might fancy a little run. He's benefited a lot from the slipstream on the whole straight with the good exit as well. Might have another change lead of the race here as Arukas looks like he might be fully ahead going into this braking zone. Oh, there's contacts. Are they all going to make it through? They do. Just a little bit of time loss. Nothing to worry about there. That is the probably the dangerous corner for incidents at Le Mans. Tap with his half-second penalty. How's this going to impact him? Obviously, he's going to drop away from Harry and Sam. Here comes Hennes as well. Yep, there's that position. So Hennes up into 6th, Harry in 4th, and Sam maybe thinking about a move on Harry. Not right now. So the Lambo has started 1-2, currently 3rd and 7th. Kind of similar to how the AMG's sprint race went. Yeah, some of the MR cars would have had to do the hard tyred strategy because it's more difficult for the rear tyres around here with all the fast corners. They are a faster car though around the fast corners, the MRs in general. Right, everyone made it through to the end of the second lap in one piece. Everyone's still really close together as well, the whole grid. So yeah, they're all on the start finish straight. So anything can happen really at this point with the rain expected to come. Still not really many clouds in the sky to indicate that you'd be expecting any kind of wet weather. I think there was something happened back here. Maybe not. I thought I saw. Maybe Harry's going to have a little go at Giles. Oh, is he going to get away with it? Squeezes Giles to the inside, gets the position. That's a good overtake there. Now Giles under pressure from Sam. Sam not able to do anything just yet, but we do have the straights coming up now. Sam's on a real charge. But he's out of the slipstream now. Giles does have the slipstream. Sam's got that 7th gear he can rely on. It looks like Harry's decided to give him a little bit of a tow and keep Giles behind, so I don't know why that's happened. But again, you're favouring the medium tired car, which you wouldn't want to be the car straight behind you. Sam gets the corner completely wrong there. Backs up Giles into Henna's now. Then there's a gap to Pinzani, so something's happened a little bit further back, which has created a little gap. But Henna's really lining up Giles for a move now. Tap's dropped back as well, so we'll have to find out what happened there. The Lambo's really hating life right now. Giles actually benefiting a bit from the slipstream. And yeah, the braking was very early there. Harry getting the chicane a little bit wrong. Sam might be able to pounce on that. If it was me, it depends if you want to fuel save or not. I don't think Sam's fuel saving, and he goes for the bump draft. I think I might have just gone for the move, because Harry was pretty slow compared to Sam when they did their first bump draft. And that's kept Giles and Henna's pretty close behind. Let's go back and see what's happened with Tap, who's defending from Hurricane now. Looks like Pinzani's made some positions. So on the start of the straight, we've got Pinzani and Barumi. Are they just going to bump draft straight past him? Yeah. It was the correct decision for them to make with the speed difference. And then we saw Hurricane's caught up now on his soft tyres, which are just over 50% worn. And again, yeah, Hurricane needs to practice that corner a bit more, because even though he was side by side a little bit there, he's way too cautious. And I know it's better to be cautious, over cautious than under cautious, because you don't want to be getting an incident there. But yeah, slight modifications can be made. But it looks like he's going to potentially out-drag a Tap down here. We've got Hasnain, what's he fancying doing? He's going to make it 3 wide now around the outside, which is very brave. He's going to get fully ahead of Tap. What about Hurricane? Hurricane's still got a slight advantage. Hurricane backs out of it a little bit. And they all make the corner pretty nicely. Ooh, a nice, oh dear. I was going to say a nice little bump out of that corner for Tap. But that wasn't, it didn't really go to plan. Tap hit the wall. Knocked his momentum. Jack did wait for him though, and Zab got a couple of free positions there. So yeah, Tap down from the top towards the bottom, but again, the entire field does remain fairly close together here. Look at this battle for the lead. Four drivers, and then there's another 2 about a second behind them. They're all driving pretty consistently too. So we got medium, and Giles on the hard, not too far behind. So Giles actually doing pretty good at this point of the race. As we head into the final chicane, where everything usually does go wrong for at least somebody. Looks like everyone's made it. Hurricane is doing a 4th lap on the softs, and there's Jack making his way through as well. So lap 4, this would have been the final lap in the sprint race. And Arukas at the front, which we saw for a lot of the sprint as well. Looked like a little bit wide there for Harry. He's got Sam. Sam's not really putting any pressure. This is an unforced error coming up. Yeah, a little bit out of shape going into the corner. Well, saves his car from a spin, and now Sam could potentially take advantage of this. Sam's lines are looking a little bit cleaner than Harry's. Yeah, not much happening at the front. Oh, Aruka's got a second penalty. Where'd he get that? He got it into turn 1. Okay, let's do some sleuthing and figure out how this happened. Ah. Yeah, that's probably it then. So that's worth a second. I mean, yeah, it is quite clear, isn't it? Okay, that's really unfortunate. So this is going to be a second race where Arukas is set to lose the lead of the race due to track limit penalties. Great news for Filthy. He just needs to stay close enough to Arukas to benefit from it. Now this next corner, very easy to cut. Looks like everyone's taking it pretty normally though. Oh, a little bit wide there for Hennes. Let's see if a penalty comes towards Hennes now. Gill's still hanging on in there in P6 on the hards, but Zani's catching up to him. Filthy's caught up pretty nicely to Arukas and goes for a huge bump draft. Let's see the difference in speed before and after the bump draft. So this is how much it can ruin you, because you think bump drafting is going to always make you go quicker as well, but if you're the driver behind and there's a big difference in speed, which you can see here, 262 compared to 249 for Arukas, you're basically going to just absorb, well, they're going to absorb the amount of speed that you're hitting them by and probably go up to 262 pretty quickly, and you're going to go down to their speed or maybe even slower. So let's just see. Yeah, 263. And immediately 244. So 20 kilometers an hour that you've lost when you could have potentially gone for the overtake here. And so it's definitely, yeah, and look, and he's at 270 and you're at 260, so it's lasting for the rest of the straight, but even with slipstream help. So it's not always the best, but you will catch up again in the slipstream on the next straight, to be fair. You could also do that in the corner and then fall out of slipstream range altogether. So these are what you have to think about when you think about whether bump drafting is a good idea. We've got Daytona coming up, and it's going to be a similar story. And now we've got Harry and Sam pretty close behind, ready to take advantage of that. So because Filthy didn't actually go for that move, Harry's potentially going to take P2, which could become P1 with this second penalty for Arukas. He's fully ahead going in, a little bit of a tight line Harry had to take, but took the corner completely fine. Up into what is essentially the net race lead. Filthy's going to get a nice exit here, but what's he going to decide to do? Because he's got Sam behind him as well. We could do some three-way bump drafting, but Filthy again, potentially losing a bit of speed there with the bump that he had, and Harry just betrays him completely, gives Sam the speed anyway. Harry's going for the move for the lead now. I don't know if it was intentional, but this is just how they've all bunched together. They all make it through the corner pretty nicely. So Harry and Sam probably working together here to get past Arukas so that they can fight on their own once he serves his penalty. Filthy still close enough to be in the hunt. This is going to drop Arukas back a lot now. We've also got a little battle between Gilles and Panzani. Gilles has the inside line here. And Pizzani fully ahead. Gilles kind of backs out of that one. Arukas now defending from Hennes. So this has not been a good lap since he got that penalty. Now here comes the second penalty. You got Filthy and Hennes fighting for positions here. Then you got Pizzani and Gilles are going to get past for sure. And potentially Aslan might follow through. Let's see what's going on between Filthy and Hennes though. Sam and Harry have a huge lead now ahead of P3 and 4. And Hennes just has to stay behind Filthy for now. With a little bit of contact there with the wall. Knocked Sam a bit wide. He didn't get any damage. Pizzani suddenly caught up to the very front, so he could potentially be in with a good shout of winning this one. Brummy in 9th, Hurricane in 10th. He's going to come into the pits anyway. So I'll promote Zab. Jack and Tack still a little bit further down. Let's see them all come through the final corners. Filthy and Hennes really close again. Pizzani's there as well. They're probably going to go 3 wide into turn 1, are they? Filthy just caught completely with no speed at all there. Hennes gets past Pizzani, gets past. Pizzani's going to try and get past Hennes as well, which he is fully ahead of going into the corner and covers off the inside pretty nicely. Hennes, a little bit wide into the entry of the chicane, is going to potentially allow Filthy to come past again, which it looks like is going to happen. No, Filthy kind of backed out a little bit. Now Arukas, trying to recover from his penalty, is in the mix as well. And Hasnain's just lurking in the background. No one's giving anyone an inch here. And then we got Harry and Sam. They're probably going to keep working together, I reckon. Because they don't want these guys to start catching up. Hennes, Filthy, Arukas and Hasnain very, very close together here. Filthy going for the bump for now. You see how they were a lot closer in speed there, so you didn't lose as much with the bump. Out of shape on the entry there. Arukas going to get past, and Hasnain might have to get past Filthy now as well. Like a comfortable exit there for Hasnain. So he's going to get into P6. Then we still have Arukas and Hennes battling for position. Hennes decided to go behind Arukas. He did back out of that one. And Hennes going for the move for P4 into the braking zone. And he gets it pretty tidy there. We got Brummy who's joined the pack as well, but he's got a second penalty, so he'll drop back a little bit. And we have a few drivers who've already come into the pits. We have Gilles who's come into the pits. Jack's come into the pits, both of them on mediums. Mediums for Hurricane, so he's done a soft medium. And hard mediums for the other 3. Is anyone else on the hard still out? Sorry, I can see that there's, yeah, Zab's on the hard, so he's still out. There's some drama going on, so let's just rewind a little bit. So what are Sam and Harry doing heading into the hairpin, and then we'll see what's going on a bit further back. Still just driving pretty normally, these guys, but nothing to worry about. Then we have Brummy trying to get a move done on Filthy. Looks like he's got that done at the hairpin. All very clean there. Then we have a slight gap to Zab, who is struggling in the 4-minute 6s on those hards, but yeah, that makes sense that he's a little bit tailed off at the back, since these are all of them are on mediums here. So Filthy's going to get up to 7th anyway. Is anyone super close? Arukas is still super close to Hennes, going for the bump. And Hennes, brakes a little bit too late there. And he's in the gravel. How'd that happen? That was really wrong. So he gets a nice little bump here. Gets some extra speed. Does lift around the corner. Just brakes too late for the corner. And that is Arukas and Hasnain and Brummy and Filthy past him. He might get past Brummy here with his second penalty. Let's see. So there's the pen. Filthy passed pretty easily. And Henners is going to recover a single position, but still the top 8 very close together. Let's join this battle for the lead. Even though it's not much of a battle, they're working together very effectively here. And the gap still appears to continue to grow. Pizzani has kind of broke away. Well, actually, he had momentarily broken away, but Rukas and Hasnain are now close by as well. Oh, Rukas, is he going to lose it? He manages to keep it going. I don't think he'll get a penalty for that either. But he's lost that position to Hasnain. So Hasnain really benefiting from the issues of others. He's got himself up into 4th now. Let's see what these lap times are going to be. So we're on a 4.3, a 3.8, 4.3 for Pizzani as well, 3.3 for Hasnain. So he's doing the best out of these guys. A 5 for Rukas and a 7 for Filthy. It's an 8 for Henners. And a 6 for Brummy, even though he had a second penalty. So Brummy's doing pretty quick here. It looks like Sam has just gone for the lead. Or is Harry going to outbrake himself again? Yeah, look how out of shape he is. That is an easy overtake for the win. So I think we've got like our 6th or 7th different race leader of the feature race so far. Sam takes lead now. His rear tyres are looking pretty shoddy. So I think maybe he might have to think about pitting this lap. So the question is, can Harry stick with Sam and stick in the fight for the lead? They were working together a lot, but he did leave the door wide open for Sam here. He's going to try and get the spot back straight away. That will bring Pizzani in. Actually, the top 5 will get closer. There's the first bump. Another really big bump there. Let's see what this sector time ends up being compared to Pizzani behind. 17.7, 16.5. But we did see Harry make that mistake into turn 1. So potentially should have looked at Sam's. So yeah, Pizzani could be in with a shot at winning this one. Jagger's very quick round here. Not so much in the 6th gear, but getting up to 6th is a very pleasant experience for it. Good on the fast corners. Its tyres are good, but its fuel is absolutely abysmal, which is why Pizzani's got less fuel than those around him. But it looks like he's not fuel saving, neither is Sam. Harry definitely is doing a little bit of fuel saving, so this could benefit him when we get into the pit window. Still not really looking like there's going to be any moves for position here. Yep, everyone's taking the corner pretty normally. Zab's still out on his hards. Maybe he's doing a hard soft. And then we have the drivers who've made their pit stop. I wonder if the raid comes before the other guys have to make their pit, because if they do, that's an absolute disaster for these guys who've gone for the early stop. It's another aspect to think about when you've got a racetrack where it can rain. In the unlikely, well actually it's fairly likely at Le Mans that it could rain. Some of the other ones it rains a lot less frequently. So yeah, an early pit stop can really mess you up in a feature race like this. I mean, you can start to see some clouds coming in. So I wonder if any of them have their... Oh, there we go, there's the rain. Right as I said it, you could see the windows. Oh, well actually it's only Harry's that are going. Oh no, not only Harry's. Pizzani's are going as well. We're not seeing any water on the meter yet though. There we go. Some proper rain. What are we going to see? We're right near the pits. Is anyone coming in? We're all ready. Yeah, Sam's decided to come in. Harry's coming in. Panzani's coming in. Hasnain as well. Arukas as well. Is anyone going to be brave and try to stay out here? We don't know what kind of clouds we can see, but everyone is coming straight in. Let's see what's going on with Giles and everyone else who've been caught out in a really awkward part of the track as well. So they've already made the pit stop and... wow. That, shockingly, will have cost him very little time. And now we've got the other three right at the back, very close together, trying to make it round these corners. Oh, it's so heavy. They're hardly going any speed at all, these guys. Giles has quite a big lead over them. And they are all very close together. Harry's already out. Harry's out on the intermediates with half a tank, which should see him to the end nicely. Sam's putting way more fuel. And so Harry's jumped Sam. Sam's on the softs, so Sam thinks that the rain might stop here. So he's going to drop way back. Panzani's on the inters. Arukas has gone for the full wets, which definitely aren't necessary. Inters for Filthy, inters for headers, for Brummy, Zab. Hurricane stayed out on the medium, so he thinks he wants to tough it out and do the one stop. That might work, you know, because the pit lane is super long. Tap, I'm not sure where on the track he is. Don't be going backwards and trying to get into the pits, because it'll just reset you to the track. No, he's not trying to do that. He is trying to do that. He's going to get reset to track. Let's go forward, because this is taking too long. This is going to be a reset to track, surely. Oh no, it let him in. Okay, I'm surprised at that. Right, what's happening at the front? Harry looks like he's got a fairly comfortable lead. Hasnain, that is not how you take that corner. Arukas is on the full wet and still spinning off track. How'd you do that? Bringing in too much speed into the corner, basically. So, yeah, don't rejoin unsafe. He does get past headers. Brummy's gonna spin anyway. Sam's in the gravel on his soft tyres. Zab gets past both of them. So this is going pretty good for Zab on his inters. We do have more heavy rain, so potentially Arukas could still get a bunch of positions here, because the weather gauge looks like it should be fully wet. We've got Sam on his softs. He's going to just keep spinning. Hurricane has overtaken all those drivers by staying out, but yeah, he is being super careful, to be fair to him. If he makes this corner, he's going super slow, but it's working for him. It might benefit him right at the end of the race, but this is super slow. What about Sam into the next corner? Looks like he made it through. Still ahead of Brummy on the inters, actually, Sam. Wow. This is interesting. Everyone's really nicely spaced out at the front. Aslam, who we saw kind of cut the corner, but he was probably going too slow to get a penalty, still in P2. And this is looking great for Harry. So down into the hairpin, are we going to be braking and actually coming to a complete stop? Really tricky corner, that wasn't the hairpin, but he did make it through pretty nicely. Now it looks like the rain stopped now. That doesn't mean it won't start again. Don't know how big this rain cloud was. We can take a little bit of stock. Arukas is ahead of Headers again. Sam is still in 9th. And look how the tyres should be coming back to him now. Because, well, if he needs to avoid the curbs. But on the racing line, we're nearly at a third full on the water gauge. So this could come back in Sam's favour. It depends if the track ends up completely drying or not. Still struggling a lot there. I think Brummy's pulling away from him still. We have Jack in P10. Gilles is in P11. Hurricane is down in 12th now. And Tap's on the full wets, which, yeah, again, not the right tyre to be on. So Hurricane could get a few positions between now and the end, potentially, even though there's a big gap. See how everyone's getting on a little bit further up. Arukas is putting a bit of pressure up on Filthy now. So, start of lap 8, we've got 3 laps left. This is definitely intermediate tyre territory for the guys at the front. Although the wet should still perform pretty well. It should still give some crucial grip here for Arukas. But will he start falling back towards the end of the race? That's the question. Yes, it is a disadvantage to be in the lead on when it rains, because the water gauge is a lot higher for the front cars than it is if you are very far behind. So for example, let's see Harry, he's over 50% full on the water gauge, and we're nearly at third full for Tap, whereas Tap wants it to be a little bit more full than that on his wet tyres. And that's why this is going to benefit Hurricane a lot more, because he stuck it out on the mediums, and the mediums can definitely, as long as he keeps it pointing the right way, start to eat up into Gilles' advantage quite a lot here. Jack's in the pits, he wants to go onto the softs at the end. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one why the game chooses to do that. It does bring the pack close together towards the end, I suppose. So top 3, but there's a bit of a gap to Filthy. Arukas is still in there though. We're going to see a late move here. Even at the front, the water gauge is starting to go down. And there you can see the results of it. Filthy, you can see the dry line as well, gets such a strong exit there from Arukas. Arukas has quite a nice gap back to Hennes. There you can see Arukas in the far distance. So he could potentially keep his P5, but I think he might start to struggle as we start heading to conditions that are more suitable for dry tyres. And I wonder if anybody will be making a pit stop between now and then. Little check-in on Sam. He is still not a million miles away, as the water gauge dips under a third for the first time. He's still got pretty much completely fresh tyres because they've been racing in the wet for the last couple of laps. So he could, if the track continues to dry, still get a strong result here. I think the top guys are starting to get a bit closer now. Let's ride on board with Panzani, see if he can get some good lines through these corners. I think it's fair to say, I think the top 3 on the grid right now are probably the 3, and well, them and Arukas would be the fastest guys around Le Mans today. Yeah, we've got huge field spread. Hasnain making a good decision, decided to cool his intermediate tyres down so that they don't overheat towards the end of the race, because these inters will now start shredding incredibly quickly, and it'll be a question of if some of them can actually make it to the end of the race, because 4 laps on the inters is quite a difficult thing to do when the track starts drying. We've all got, and I think the wets won't make it to the end of the race. Arukas might have to come in here. Let's see if anyone else actually comes in. I'd be surprised if anyone came in. Harry's coming in! I think that's the wrong choice. That is a very long pit stop. Hasnain's going to take the lead of the race. Panzani's coming in as well. So Filthy is going to move up into second. Arukas is, well, Arukas has to come in on his wets. Hennes carries on. Zab's going to carry on. And what is Brummy going to do? He carries on. So where are these guys going to come out in relation to Sam, who decided not to put on hard tyres at all? These guys won't have to put in fuel, most of them, if they've played this right. Ooh, yep, manages to get back on the throttle. So Panzani's coming out, and Harry's coming out ahead of Sam. So after all that fighting and all that rain, Harry and Sam, who were working together a lot, end up pretty close together on track. And Panzani's ahead of them, but he's got a 3-second penalty from the pit lanes, so he is going to drop back even further. Gilles on the intermediates carries on. Hurricane on the mediums carries on as well. We've got Jack. Oh dear. Anyway. So we have, we've got some very different strategies going on. Filthy is the lowest driver on the intermediates. Top 5 all on intermediates. Harry's on the softs, and he can see Brummy in the distance. He will be one of the quickest cars out on track. It's just going to be a question of what is the difference in lap time between the softs and the inters between now and the end. On the straights, there's hardly any water left at all. So these guys just have to be careful not to lose it. It is a bit more dangerous to go on the softs in these conditions, because if you go on the curbs, it's a lot wetter still, and you can just easily fly off the track. But there is a real clear dry line that's formed. Yeah, I still think being on the inters was the correct decision. Switching to the inters and staying on the inters. I mean, we've got Zab up in P4 for the first time this season. And he's only got a lap and a half left to try and defend from these guys. Like, Harry was leading the race. Obviously, he didn't have the luxury of knowing what anyone else was going to do. Potentially thought that the track was going to dry a bit quicker than it has. It's remained a bit overcast. Zab cooling his tyres down a little bit there. Filthy potentially on for a P2 here as well, which would be fantastic. Look at the tyre wear on these guys though. It is going to be a struggle towards the end because we're approaching 50% worn and the track's only getting drier. The people who are looking after the tyres, going into the wet areas on the straights, are surely going to be benefited a bit more towards the end of the race with a bit of tyre life, because they're not overheating them. Once you overheat the inters, they're pretty much undrivable. Oh, Harry had to pit because he underfueled. Something's happened. How did Panzani get past? Just round the outside with a better speed. Is Sam gonna... Oh no, Sam's too far back. Harry might be able to get this position straight back though, even before penalty, but there's no incentive really for him to do it. Make the corner nice. Sam's now caught up to the back of them. They've still not even been able to catch Rummy, let alone the others on the inters. So some more teamwork between Sam and Harry, but then Sam didn't carry that on for very long, and it's not going to work out for him this time. It's going to be a huge 3-second penalty for Panzani. Yeah, both of them a little bit poorer on the traction on the exit, but Sam got a hold of it a little bit better. Now we're going to see a little drag race between the AMG and the Citroen. Sam's got the inside line for the next corner, but remember there's only a dry line. If you go wide, you're going to be completely off track there. I think Harry recognised that and let Sam pass this time, even though Harry's got the fresher tyres. Sam is looking a lot more comfortable in these drying conditions. Panzani, after his 3-second penalty, has dropped quite far behind these two. Sam looks like he made a little mistake on the left-hander. Now, these chicanes are going to be pretty wet here. Harry loses it a little bit on the exit, and Sam's going to be able to get away. Oh dear! So, racing softs for Arukas, who did catch up very nicely to Panzani with that 3-second penalty, but wasn't able to get an overtake done. Like I said, these are very wet curbs that they're all riding over. And that bit was fine. It was going onto the green AstroTurf that is absolutely sodden, which caused Arukas to do a perfect 360. Got himself a little bit of damage. Gilles is way too far back to take advantage of that though. So yeah, bit of a poor race, from Arukas since the rain came out. And I think Hasnain may have been gifted, literally gifted, the double win here. Because everyone's pretty much imploded all around him, whether that be the strategy or what, but he's just driven a pretty normal race. There's something going on a bit further down. Something's happened with Sam. In P6, are we going to see... Yeah. Oh dear. Well, he went on the wet stuff, and that was a nice little double pirouette. The worst part of the track to do a spin, because everyone else is going full speed. We're going to have Arukas... Oh! I was going to say we're going to have Arukas go past as well, but instead he's going to do this. Pretty much the same mistake that Sam did, just a slightly different outcome. Gilles could potentially get a position here. His tyres aren't going to make it to the end of the race, never mind. Look how worn that rear left is. Like I said, he came into the pits, put on the inters, but because he's so far back, the track's a lot drier for him, which is bad for when you're on the inters. So if you're going to be way far back at the end of the field, you want to be on the drier compound, because it's just always drier. That's not going to help. We're too far gone for that. So Hurricane should finish in the top 10 here, and Jack, to be fair, even though they're a long way back. What's happening at the front? Aslam's trying really hard to get some tyre cooling, but the patches are shrinking now. The sun's come out. It's going to be a struggle for these inters, just as I say that. Brummy has finally been caught. I think this is going to be an unforced error. His inters look like they're about to die as well. Yeah, into the wall. Oh, he avoids the wall. But that's going to be multiple positions lost for him. Zab, it's his front right that's about to die. Might be able to control it a little bit better. Henna's tyres are in slightly better condition. And yeah, Hasnain's looked after his the best. But he's the one we saw in the puddles the most, so that makes sense. Potentially not over for P2 here. Henna's is catching Filthy pretty quickly. And Filthy's got a 1.5-second penalty for cutting the right-hander. So that is... Well, he'll want to be serving it right now, or else it'll be a 2-second penalty. I don't think he'll serve it. I think he got it too late. Yeah, he did. I think he thought he was going to serve it as well. So that's just going to be a 2-second penalty at the end. Actually, you don't want to serve that. I think 2 seconds is probably losing less time than serving a 1.5-second penalty. Zab looks like he's on for a P4 if he can make these tyres last. He's got Harry pretty close behind and Panzani right behind as well. Both of them on very fresh softs. Sam just a little bit behind on his more worn, probably less optimal softs at this stage. We are very close to the end of the race actually, so let's join on board with our man who's going to take the championship lead with a double win at Le Mans. It has been pretty perfect for him. He picked the correct strategy and avoided the trouble, and he's going to be rewarded with it. Bided his time at the start, and now he wins at Le Mans twice in a row. Filthy has built up a bit of a lead over Hennes. Is it going to be enough? Is that 2 seconds? Let's see. Hennes struggling with very dead tyres results in him not being able to catch it. He ends up third. Harry and Panzani have got past Zab. So how'd that happen? Zab just struggling for speed in general here, and they just easily get past. Harry maintaining that one position ahead of Panzani, and that is going to be, or is it going to be at the line? Panzani gets it on the line. How did that happen? There must have been absolutely nothing, but Panzani just gets such a good exit from the final chicane that he just nicks it right at the end. Zab is at least going to get P6. That's his best result in Tier 2 by far. Sam, who didn't put on wet tyres at all, gets P7. Arukas on the softs has been in the wars and everything in this race. He's going to get P8 for his troubles in the end. Now we've got a little battle between Gilles on the Inters, which are completely dead, and Hurricane on some medium tyres, and Gilles just loses it on his own there, so Hurricane is going to swoop through. Gilles might get caught by Jack now, who's not too far behind, and he's got 2 completely dead punctured rear tyres. Yeah, Jack is closing in. It'll happen in the last couple of chicanes where you do need at least a little bit of grip. Gilles still has a fairly decent lead. He could hold on to this. Hurricane P9. Gilles is just going super slow. There comes Jack. He should get it, Jack. And he does manage to position his car pretty perfectly there to get P10 right on the line. He looks pretty pleased with that. P11 for Gilles. It looks like we have a DNF. That would have been Brummy. So that means Tap at least gets promoted to 12th for his troubles. But he's a long way back, so we're not going to see what happened at the with him there. Let's have a quick look at the standings. We do have a new championship leader, like I said, in Hasnain. He has a 0-point lead over Chrissy, actually. No, he doesn't. That's not correct. He's got a 20-point lead. My sheet's graph was just updating. So that's pretty decent. The only one, well, it's basically a 2-horse race between Hasnain and Chrissy right now. Hennes jumps up into 3rd place with his double podium, but he has 51 points back. And then we have Gilles in 4th, Arukas 5th, Tap 6th, Sam 7th, Mighty Mini Smiley 8th, X90G still in 9th, and Panzani in 10th place. And in the constructors, it's the GR Superboys who've taken the lead ahead of Porsche, with AMG 3rd and Hurricanes dropping to 4th, and we got the Peugeots in 5th. So that's it. We got Fuji next week where it can rain again, so fingers crossed it does.